All right, good morning. It is September 25th of September 2025. It's 8 in the morning. Yesterday I was analyzing NAS 100 from the day before. Let's see what DAX German 40 did yesterday. I have here open the overnight chart on the 5-minute. We have a range 50 points. We'll start at the open from yesterday. And to understand yesterday's price action, I need the reference from the day before. So that's Tuesday, 23rd of September. Let's put on some levels. Okay, so this is the open bar, high, and then regular session, low, 5, and 5:30, there we are. And also end of session low. End of day low. Okay, so outside of Frankfurt Trading House. Good. Then yesterday, 24th, we saw the chart open here in the middle of prior day's range. Just so we know how large the range was, only 230 points, about 1%. So kind of a low volatility. It's not a really high volatile market right now, even lower than in August. Okay, so we open peaking up above the level. This 613 was the open. And then we had regular hour close a bit later. So we peaked above the regular trading hours close price, reverse down, then we see first 3 bear bars. I think I'm trying to figure out how it's best to also view the chart for you. So not trying to move that much. Let's see if I can find a good position, and then we can analyze in this mode. Okay, so what I'm looking for, okay, price tapped up. Huge week, so probably sellers below bar 1. We saw some buying after bar 1, but then sellers were back in control, closed again on its low as with bar 1. Similar story with bar 3. Tiny week, so you could expect that it will go a bit further. Then price slows down on bar 4. We're seeing wicks on top and bottom. Bar 5 is now a doji, so sellers lose interest. And 2 bars later, we see a nice bull reversal candle. So the open ended here. First move, as in 50% of the cases, the open move reverses in the other direction and the first direction is wrong. This is a great example. Price reverted back up after a couple of candles. Yeah, not even an hour, back up to 100 points. into a trading range, pulled back, nice 50% pullback here. If you mark this out, we have here the 50% zone, which we tapped once, twice, maybe here even a fourth time here for sure. This is interesting to me because it tells me where I want to place my trade. This is an area of interest here. It got defended 2-3 times, then it got broken. So it means price goes below the pullback here, grabbing up the liquidity, grabbing up the orders that were standing here. So maybe a lot of stop loss were set here for bulls that entered late or added here. Stops should have been here. So let's see what my trade would have been here. At the open, we saw a strong sell-off. So after two strong, more or less strong bear bars, already seeing one rejection from prior level, I could be tempted to enter a scalp short. But I have to know that, as I said before, 50% of the time, it will be the wrong direction. So as soon as I see this candle, I should probably get out. Yes, I can look to get in again in the same direction once the pullback is done and it's clear that we didn't see a full direction change. We saw that here. So the direction change has occurred. We have this trading range now. Bulls are coming in. All right. Could you have bought here? Maybe bought at 9.35. Yeah, you had a reasonable stop here or here. And retest of the highs. You could expect that after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive bear bars, even though they're here getting smaller, that after 2 bull bars, you get a little bit more movement up as a pullback. But for me, at this stage, it's not 100% clear that we will see the bull move continue. Then we have this trading range. Bears tried a couple of times to bring price down. I want to zoom in here. So now we need to look at the details. We need to find evidence of bear strength. Here we had some. But where are the bears here? We have one good bear bar, weak follow through. Another good bear bar, okay. Some follow through, large wick on top, not very convincing. And what do we see? Because it's not a very convincing setup. Buying directly below this bar. Yeah, so we have buy interest here. Which tells me, okay, if I'm on the bear side, I'm probably on the wrong side. Patient bears waited. So if we see more strength again, no strength here. Price didn't even go below ended with a doji. We never really saw 3 consecutive bear bars in a row. The last time we saw that was around the open. So this tells us, okay, bears are not in control. Bulls are fighting hard to gain control. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 legs up, back to the open price here, back to this super tight range, and then also retesting the low of yesterday regular trading hours. And then we have another try by the bears. Strength is not really strong here. We see, yes, we see a lot of consecutive bear bars, but you also see the wicks, you see the dojis. After every 2 or 3 bars, we see some buying again. We don't see any really large bars. And momentum quickly faded away and bulls started buying again. As the bulls saw that this candle here was forming, they were clear, okay, it seems like price is holding. Got a second entry, a second try for the bears to invalidate the price holding up here. And bulls saw this as a good opportunity to buy, and buying above even a midi, a doji bar that is not really convincing, but because of the context above here is actually a good buy setup. Why? You have the stop down here, just 30 points. You can move the stop down here. It's a bit wider, but you can do that. I would place it here. And even some bulls are already in above this candle. That's for sure. So why am I looking at this position here? This is the last time the price got to this level, the 560 level here. And if I bought before in this area, price would have stayed here for many hours. So yes, we have the reversal here. We have a strong bull bar that spans across 40 points. But if I bought here, it will be the same price for the next 4 hours, basically. A bit up, a bit down, yes. So everybody was buying here, and I don't want to buy where everybody buys. Quite simple as that. So I need to look for those spots. This needs, of course, patience. All right. What other good trades are hidden here on this screen? Yeah, I think if I entered here around this area with the stop here, my first target is somewhere around here. Looking at the week from the open, forming a box in my mind. The high of the day so far. The price got close 2 times. Yes. So I expect that price will move into this box, or at least touch it. So that is my reasonable assumption. Trader's equation makes sense. You have large enough profit, probability is high enough, stop is set far enough away, but not too close. As I said before, it could also be further away, but I think it's not necessary for this kind of setup where you actually waited for the perfect moment. Yeah. If you bought early, your stop should be probably further away. Okay, you're in the trade. You didn't exit full position once your first profit target hit. Maybe you had a partial take profit here set, and it closed part of your position. If you didn't have one and you saw this strong candle after your first target was hit, I would probably stay in the trade. Yeah, I would be convinced, okay, this is a good breakout. Let's see how strong the pullback is. Do we get a 50% pullback, or do we just get back into the range? And then decide again how I want to continue to manage the trade. All right, what happened next? I'm measuring out the pullback for me. This is the move. We bought somewhere in the lower quarter of the move. And measuring this out, this is our 50% pullback area. So here I could expect the pullback to go down here. This would still mean we have a healthy trend. I'm not concerned if price goes below here in this area. But when it goes here, I want a quick rejection. It turns out price didn't go here. We saw kind of a tight range, double top, 3 consecutive bear bars with no follow through, rejection bar, good bar for the bulls, touching into the zone, our profit area. So then we see another bull bar, and we should be convinced that this will go on for at least another leg up. We got the leg up with a small pullback. This is the end of the first leg up. After effect, it's easier to see. Then we have a second leg up. But in the moment, you could also think this is the first leg up and then second leg up, which always it already tells you you will get a deeper pullback. But in the context, you have to look a bit back how slow the price moved here. Then we have a quick movement here, and we need to always look at the context. So if it's moved slow here, it might move slow again later in the day. You cannot expect after a trading range like this that you will see a strong trend for the rest of the day. Yeah. Here it's still a good trend with some bigger pullbacks, with some normal pullbacks, not bigger, and all good. I'm measuring out again the move up here. Here we now land in this 50% pullback area. So I'm talking from here till here. I will delete the prior one so it doesn't get too crowded chart. Okay, so you're still in the trade. You might have took some early partial profits. Maybe you could have avoided it by waiting out the close of the bar. We're still in the trade. Where could we add to the trade? Of course, we could have limit orders at the 50% level. And then once price didn't go there after this candle or after this add late, yeah, we have some urgency here. Price didn't go far below. All the bulls that waited for a good pullback got in. Continuation up there. Next pullback. Next pullback is from percent-wise a bit deeper than the first. Okay, price is still holding. We see wicks in the bottom, not a lot of wicks on top, which is good. Tells me here I could buy above any of those two bars. Here, this one or this one. Adding to the position with stop here, or in case there is another brief second leg down below here. This would be the add. Of course, reasonable target up here, but you expect price to go higher. Okay, I'm deleting this again. And then we have first, second, third major legs in the trend. Where do we need to get suspicious? We have 3 bull bars closing near its highs. No pullback, not even inferred pullbacks. And then rejection wick on top, exactly around the level from the prior day. So we're zooming out just to get the context. Here, 23rd of September, high of the day reached around 1050. We reached this level here, saw a little bit more buying, and then profit taking and selling started. We are close to the end of the day. It's here 4:40. So not even an hour remaining. People taking profit. They saw 3 legs up. Maybe some climactic price action here. Not a lot of pullbacks in the last leg up. And then we saw consecutive bear bars, 3 bear bars, the fourth one with wick, and then not a lot of bulls buying back in. So we will see a second leg down, and then this trading range formed, and this is end of session already. Yeah. So people that sold here were happy with their profits of the day. They didn't expect much more. So some profit taking and closing out the positions. Where would I've exited? It depends. If I have taken the profits early because I had the limit order in the market set already, I might have swung this for a couple of hours. If I made it through this pullback and saw the climactic price action, I would probably sell as soon as I see the first bear bar below this bear bar. So missing about 30 points from the high, which would be nice. Good. So yeah, this is then end of session, price moving back to previous low. That's a reasonable target for bears that go for a scalp, but that's not what I'm looking for here. Yesterday I also said in the beginning I want to look at the worst possible trades that he could do. So maybe looking at the start here of the day, it's not that obvious now to me what the worst trade is. What I like to look at is like the large bars. So I see the first bar, second bar, third bar, and the third bar triggers me into a short. But it's not really a bad trade in that sense. You could get out with some profit even when your stop was far away. You have time to exit here. Maybe on the long side, when you get too impatient, you buy here, buy again, because you're hoping for the breakout. But you grew your position size that you had to have a tight stop, and then of course the liquidity grab comes under your original entry price. So that's probably a typical thing I would see when I look at trades from other people. Yeah, exiting too early after the second leg. I think just because you see a big bear bar, you need to wait for follow through. Yeah. This is not good follow through. This will then tell you, okay, good that I stayed in the trade, even though we had 1, 2, 3 bear bars, a big one, even here. This will tell you, okay, it's good that I didn't scare myself out of the trade. And then you need to regain the confidence that you lost briefly here after seeing those dojis. And after you see that bull bar, you need to turn this lack of confidence maybe into some confidence and aggressive adding and buy again here at the market, because you still have the option that price goes here again and maybe even above. So I don't see a super bad trade you can take, besides of course the obvious or turning and trading the wrong side, but I see definitely some possibilities for bad trade management. How can you avoid that? So when I look at the chart and I see this open, I see open, a V reversal, classic, and then I see undecidedness in the market. And when price, as I mentioned before, people who bought here above this big bull bar, they will be super annoyed that the price stayed for 4 hours in their range. Yeah? This is the range for them. When this happens, you need to expect that it could end up to be one of those days where nothing else really happens. So we should set our expectations accordingly. And I try to bring this necessary patience then also to the rest of the day. Yeah, we get here a pullback with a lot of bars, price not moving for a long time, even though lunch break is already over. Here again, price could be interpreted as a bit slow, people get impatient, yeah. But just keep this in mind that if the market moved slow once during the day, it might move slow again. All right. I think that's it from yesterday. So to prepare for today's session, in case you look at this, I'm changing the levels now. So the low is yesterday's low, then the second bar is the open of Wednesday. And we have the high from Wednesday. And let's find the regular hour close as well. There we are. Okay. I think I moved the wrong one. There we go. So now it works for me. So those are my levels of interest from this day. Low, open, regular hour close, high. Market is currently above the first three levels, close to the high from yesterday. We have 33 minutes left. The range here is holding. We see some good buying. Could well interpret this as the end of a pullback and see some buying up to yesterday's high, at least for a brief moment, because we are so close to the high of yesterday. And that's what I would be looking for now. And then see how market reacts. Also see how market reacts if we go back here again. Good. That's it. I'm ending the stream here. Thanks for tuning in case you did. Also, without people watching, it's a good exercise for me to get back into analyzing the charts and then trading. If you want to get in touch with me, don't forget in the description there's my email. So hit me up for some free coaching and let's see what the DAX brings today on Thursday, 25th of September 2025. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Bye bye.